Paralyzed, crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear. Shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I don't know why this always does this to me every time. I don't get it. You know, when you try to get stuff done and it just doesn't work out, it's well for you, drives you crazy, but you know, we're going to get it all done. So hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day, enjoying yourself out there on this beautiful day. It's gorgeous. If I could play golf, I'd be playing some golf right now, but and I can't play some golf right now. I'd love to be able to play some golf. It'd be fantastic. Remember, if you guys want to come on and talk to me, you can, because, let me see if I can pull it up here. I don't know why. I need to get my Stream Deck thing done. But anyway, if you want to come on and talk to me, you can do that, because I know a couple people have tried to send me messages on Facebook, you know, comment about things. Well, you have to go on YouTube. I can see it right away, because I won't be able to comment to your respond to your comments or questions or anything until after the show, because you know I can't see it. But if you go to YouTube, search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, like, subscribe, hit notification. I'll be able to see it right away and be able to comment on whatever it is that you'd like to speak about, or any questions that you might ask me. I could be able to respond to those right away. If you will go ahead and do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Also, we'll be doing After the Storm. Remember, Thunder start Thursday. So we'll be doing a show for Thursday. Saturday, I don't know if we're going to really do a show, because remember, we don't really do shows when we blow teams out, because there's really not a lot to talk about. But I know that Sunday we play the Hawks here at home on Sunday. So we'll see how all that plays out. But so anyway, After the Storm, OKC Thunder, like, subscribe, hit notifications. You can do it on YouTube, and of course we're here on Facebook as well. So go ahead and do that if you want to. Comment with us. So, by the way, last night, I'm not a fan of the Monday Night Football where the NFL has two games. Usually one of them is very good, one of them is not. I don't know how they could fix that. I guess when you thought about it, you figured that the Chargers and the Cardinals would be a good game, I guess, at the beginning of the year. I guess. I don't know when they did the schedule, but I just don't like the fact that they do that, but some people do. I don't. I want to be able to concentrate on one game at a time, and usually we do, because there's usually only one game that's worth a quarter and the other one is not. So, but anyway, last night, on the two games, the Ravens against the Buccaneers, the Ravens have now improved to 5-2. They're, I believe, 5 straight games. They're rolling. They're rolling right now, 41-31. Lamar Jackson was fantastic as always, 17-22, 281 yards, 5 TDs. Baker Mayfield wasn't bad, 31 for 45, 370. He had the really terrible pick. I still don't know what he was looking at, but, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, the Ravens are now 5-2. The Buccaneers are 4-3. Baker, like I said, for the most part, he played well, but you know, the thing is with their division, they're still looking good. I think they have a big game against the Falcons this weekend. I do believe that's who they play. But anyway, the Ravens and Buccaneers. Ravens had 506 total yards, 481 for the Buccaneers. Rushing yards is what made the difference. That beast that they have, it's just Derrick Henry. It's just a monster. 244 yards. They think that he might break O.J. Simpson. I mean, not O.J. Simpson, but his record will never be beaten. His 2,000 yards in 14 games. That won't ever happen. but he may be able to break the record for 200 for the season mark this year. So hopefully he'll be able to do that. But I don't know if things will slow down for him. But it depends on who they play because against Pittsburgh, he's not going to run for that many yards. What do you have, 165 or something crazy? So we'll see. But 125 for the Buccaneers, 22 first downs for the Ravens, 28 for the Bucks, 1 turnover for the Ravens, and 2 for the Buccaneers, and that always makes a difference. And when you look at time of possession, you look at the Buccaneers. 35 minutes they had the ball. 35 minutes they had the ball, and the Ravens had it for 24. But as it stands, Buccaneers could not take care of business, and like I said, that turnover was just horrible, and they got into a groove, and it was over. And in the other game, the Chargers 3-3, the Cardinals 3-4, and I saw a stat where the Chargers have now lost 11 games of 3-point or less. 11 games of 3-point or less. And I bet you they've lost in the last 3 years. So they played the Chiefs 6 times. Okay? And I bet they've lost, out of those 11 games, probably 4 of them have been to the Chiefs by 3 or less. At least. Because they've had a chance to win them, but somehow or another they don't. So, but anyway, the Cardinals are now 3-4. The Chargers 3-3. Great job by Kyler Murray. He's just, I just don't know how the OU fans like Baker better than him. I don't see it. I really don't. I don't understand it, but whatever. Anyway, Kyler, Justin Herbert, 27 of 39 for 349, no TDs, no interceptions. Kyler, 14 for 26 for 145, 1 TD, 1 INT. And then, of course, that run he made was just ridiculous, but crazy. Chargers, 395 total yards. The Cardinals, 326, 59 rushing yards for the Chargers, 181. Now, most of that was on Kyler's, his 60-yard run or whatever that was. But remember, we saw that when he was at OU against Texas, what he did against them with his feet. 20 first downs to 22 for the Cardinals, 2 turnovers to 1 for the Cardinals. Chargers had 2. And then time of possession, the Chargers had the ball. But, everybody talks about how, none of these people have receivers, Brock Purdy, whatever his name is, little dude on Colin's show. He's always talking about, Brock Purdy making this, but he don't have this. Does everybody forget that Mahomes was playing with the guys who were off the practice squad when they beat the Chargers? They beat the Bengals. Nobody talks about that, so I don't want to hear about what you got. He was playing with the guys who were off the practice squad they brought up and beat the Bengals. So don't give me about, this person's hurt, that I don't want to hear all that nonsense. You got what you got. You do what you do what you got to do with what you got. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Now, everybody's not Mahomes, granted. Everybody doesn't do what he does for sure. But that being said, you got to take care of that. I mean, come on. I'm not. Those are a bunch of excuses. I'm not trying to hear it. I really am not trying to hear it at all. So, anyway, Mahomes does what Mahomes does. The rest of them do what they have to do. So, it just wears me out because you look at Justin Herbert. He threw for 350 yards, basically, with everybody hurt, whatever. Look what he did. But he still had a receiver to throw the ball to. Somebody was catching the ball. Somebody was running for yards. Somebody was doing it. For 350, somebody was catching it. He was throwing it to somebody. Now, it may not have been Mike Williams who's gone and all that. Now, yeah, granted, Keenan Allen. But at the same time, 350 yards, 350 yards. Somebody's catching the ball. Somebody's running after with the ball. So I don't want to hear a bunch of nonsense about Brock Purdy and all that. I think Brock Purdy's a very good quarterback. I just don't understand, and I've said this multiple times. How can you pay anybody more than Mahomes? Now, Mahomes is playing terrible, granted. But at the same time, when it comes to having to make a play, when it counts, game on the line, who gets it done and who doesn't? So you're paying all these guys all this money, but when the game is on the line, you got to make a play, the game is tight, where are you? Why can't you make a play? And he does. Whether it was with his feet or his arm or whatever, falling down, throwing back, whatever it is, he makes plays to get first downs, to keep the game over, for them to win. I don't know how anybody pays him more than him. I don't know how anybody makes more money than him. For me, as GM, I'm going to sit there and go, listen, There are no metrics out there you can explain to me why I'm going to pay your guy more money. Like, to me, Dak Prescott. There's nothing out there that's going to tell me you're going to get $61 million. But now there are a bunch of desperate teams out there. Yeah, during the regular season, yes, he's going to make plays during the regular season. 100%. You win 12 games 3 years in a row, yes. But it doesn't matter when you go to the playoffs and you lose. I don't get it. And to me, it's like this man makes all the plays. He's won 3 Super Bowls out of the last 6 years. He's won 3. He's 3-1 in the Super Bowls. And what does he have to do? He has to make a play in the first one to win that one. He has to make a play in the second one to win. And the first one, remember, he called the play to Tyreek Hill. Then, of course, against Philadelphia, he had to make a drive. What did he do? He did it. Scored 4 straight trips. Had to run the ball at the end of the game to get him there. Make a first down. Last time against San Francisco was he drives down the field, 4th and 1, gets the play, calls his own number, then runs again for another 40 yards, then throws the pass. He makes plays to win games. So how does anybody make more money than him? I don't get that. I really don't understand it. So, but anyway, here's my power rankings for the NFL as of this week. I've got Chiefs number 1. I've got the Ravens number 2. I've got the Lions 3, Vikings 4, Packers 5. I think that's a good lineup. And remember, the Lions beat the Vikings. I did have the Vikings in front of them last week, but I wanted to switch it up since they beat them. Packers 5. Then, of course, 6 are the Bills. 7 are the Seahawks. I mean, I'm just not that big of a fan of them, but, hey, they're getting it done. I'm not that big of a fan of Geno Smith, but he's getting it done. He's winning the games when he needs to. So you got to give the man some props. The Commanders, with Jaden Daniels without, that's the question. They're going to be without him, so I still got to put them in there because of who they're beating and what they've done. I mean, when they beat the teams, they've done what they needed to do. So I've got to give them some love right now and give them the love. I mean, now, depends on how long Jaden Daniels is going to be out. If he's not going to be playing for more than a couple weeks, then yeah, they're gone. Niners, I still believe in them. Like I said, Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I don't know how long they're going to be for Deebo Samuel, if he's coming back. I know he went to the hospital, so I'm not sure exactly how long he's going to be out, but they still have Kittle. Jennings will be back. McCaffrey's supposed to come back November 10th, I believe, is the game that he comes back for. So I trust them. And then the Steelers, and I don't know what you guys think. Do we count the Steelers or do we not? I just don't know about the Steelers. I don't know what to say. I mean, Russell Wilson made a difference, but do I believe in him? Now, he did not play that bad last year. The defense was terrible at Denver. So he's got a better defense now than he had then. So they'll be able to make plays and make up for him and what he has to do and what he can do. So, but I still, like I said, I have to put them in. I mean, they're 5-2. I got to put them in. I'm still a huge believer in the Ravens, and the Ravens have not. They've been in the whole time. Even though they were 0-2, I still had them in there. I was like, well, they lost to the Chiefs because his foot stepped on the line. Then they lost to the Commanders or whatever. Great game. So but since then they've been on a roll. They've been doing what they needed to do. And do you put the Lions in front of them? No. And the reason why I can't is because Aiden Hutchinson's hurt. So I can't put them in there with him being hurt above them. I just can't. Right now. So that's my 10. Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bills, Seahawks, Commanders, Niners, and then, of course, the Steelers rounding out the thing. So, now that being said, there's a huge schedule coming up this weekend. Thursday night, of course, the Vikings versus the Rams. A huge game for both of them. The Rams need to get a W simply because they have to stay in their conference. They have to have a winning record. Even though the Vikings are not in their division, they still need to get some wins because who knows if it came down to it later. I don't see the Vikings falling down to the same level as the Rams, but there's a tiebreaker. Wins and losses matter. That's like the Chiefs. They have the tiebreaker over the Bengals. They have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. And they have the tiebreaker over, who's the other one that they beat? Oh my God, my mind just went blank on who they played. But anyway, the Chiefs did what they needed to do to get the tiebreakers. And the thing is this, over the Ravens, they needed a tiebreaker. They've got that. Over the Bengals, they got the tiebreaker over that. They still have to play the Bills coming up, but if they continue to win what they won, it's not going to matter because they have home court. So anyway, the Rams are +3. Over-under is 48. For them, that game will be on Prime, which we've discussed Prime many times. I just think, that they're terrible. I'm just not a fan of what they do. Some people I just don't. I'm not a fan. The Ravens and the Browns. That game would have been better, but I think the Ravens are just going to spank the Browns. I think the Browns are just all beat up. I think they're down on themselves. They may have some pride defensively in that game and see what happens, but I don't see the Browns taking care of business. I mean, who they have at quarterback, who they're going to use now that Deshaun Watson is out, it may do one or two things. I know they're pissed off, but like I said the other yesterday about the fans, you don't boo anybody for being hurt. That to me was disrespectful and one of the worst things for a great a great fan base that I've ever seen. I still don't understand how you boo this guy. I mean, I get that he's off the field issues that he's had. I understand all that. But how do you boo somebody who is done for the year? I mean, if anybody's hurt, I don't give a shit how you feel about them. And they're hurt bad like that. They're being carted off the field. That's not something that you cheer for under any circumstances. No matter if I dislike somebody, no matter how bad, I'm not going to cheer for their demise. Now, I know that was a Cedric Maxwell talking about the Lakers and the Celtics. He said if the Celtics were on fire, one of the Lakers were on fire, and he had a couple glass of water, he would just drink it and watch them burn. That's a little extreme, but, that's how it is sometimes. Titans and the Lions. The Lions are -11. 45.5, so you already know what's going to happen there. Oh, the Browns. +9 on the Browns right now. I think the Ravens are going to smash them. I do. Even though it's a tough game, and the Browns usually tend to beat them, I don't think the Browns have any kind of offense to do anything with. Even Stefanski's a great offensive coordinator. I think they're in trouble. Titans and Lions, -11. I think the Lions are going to handle their business. Now, this may be a little tough for them simply because they came off a huge win, a divisional win against the Vikings in Minnesota. But, there could be a little bit of a letdown, but I don't see it. I think they'll go ahead and take care of business. -11, 45.5. Colts and the Texans, excuse me. That's going to be a good game. The Colts always give everybody a hard time. And I think this game is going to be tough for the Texans, but being at home, I wish I could be there to watch, but of course I can't because the Thunder play Sunday here in Oklahoma City, so I cannot go to the game. I thought about taking Lil G to the game, but I cannot do it. I'll be here watching the Thunder in their first home game opening night. Packers and the Jags. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. Texans -6. 46 is the over-under for that. Probably going to take the Texans in that, even though it kind of scares me a little bit with the Colts. Packers and Jaguars. Man, I tell you what, that game right there, the Packers should handle the Jags, but the Jags coming off a big win, finally getting off the slide, the 11-game slide, so they finally came off of that. And so hopefully they'll be able to do something. +4.5. The Packers should handle their business. But, they got a little spark. Who knows what's going to happen. I'm hoping that the Jaguars can come up a little bit, but I think the Packers are going to handle their business, especially coming off a big win that they had the other day. Cardinals at the Dolphins. They do get their boy back. Tua did make the comment about how he understands people's worry about him, but he has made the decision. He goes, it's up in the air, the concussions and how that's going to affect him one way or the other down the road. But as he said, this is my life, and I've been wanting to do this all the time, and the chances are one way or the other. And I agree with him. Not everybody who has concussions, that happens to. It hasn't happened to Troy yet. Doesn't mean it will, remember. That hasn't happened to a lot of people. Some people may be more susceptible to that. to the severe brain injury, I don't know. He doesn't either, but he's willing to take the chance. And like I've said many times, I've done a bunch of stupid stuff when I was young too. And when that's when your ultimate goal since you're little is to play quarterback in the NFL, I think you're going to take a chance. Now, if he happens again, I think he's done. I think they'll be done at the Dolphins, and they're not going to take a chance. Dolphins minus 3-point favorites. 48 is the over-under for that game. It's going to be good watching Kyler and him go at each other. That's going to be good. Jets and the Patriots. I could care less. I'm assuming the Jets are going to handle their business. Patriots are +7. The Jets need a W really, really bad. And I think that even though Devontae is out, I think they'll be fine coming back and beating the Patriots. And if they don't, their season's over. And, it may be a deal where it may be time for Aaron to retire. We'll see how that's going to work. Falcons at the Buccaneers. Like I said earlier, we're talking about the Bucs last night. Their loss last night. They'll be playing at home again with the Falcons. I think Baker will have learned his lesson. Excuse me, learned his lesson about throwing ill-advised passes. That's what I'm going to say. An ill-advised pass in the end zone should just eat the 2 instead of doing the other thing, giving up 7. That was just terrible. Anyway, +2.5, the Falcons are favorite. Kirk Cousins coming to Tampa Bay. We'll see how that's going to work. Over-under is 46. Eagles and Bengals, that's the game I want to watch. Of all these games here, I want to watch that game. Eagles and the Bengals, just to see. Remember, the Eagles have not scored not one time in the first quarter. Not once. I just don't understand how they have not scored one time. How have you not scored one time? Not one time have they scored. Unbelievable. I just don't understand how that is. I really, really don't. Have they not scored one time in the first quarter? We'll have to see. I just don't know if Sirianni is going to be back as the coach. I just don't know. I think losing the offensive coordinator, he has not been the same since the offensive coordinator went to Indianapolis. So we'll see. Saints, the Bengals, minus 2.5-point favorites. At home, 47.5 is the over-under. I think the Eagles are going to move the ball. I don't know how good the defense is against the Eagles' run game. And Mark Sanchez did some good scouting on Jalen Hurts on the things that he's missing. And I think a lot of that is just the offensive coordinator. You have the right guy on you, helping you each week, getting you over things, helping you with your mistakes. I think it makes all the difference. And I don't know if that's the case there now. Does his offensive coordinator have the chance to do that? Yes, but I just don't know. I mean, he helped some people, but I just don't know how that's going to work. Saints and Chargers, once again, who knows? Saints Chargers, minus 7.5. I don't really care about this game. I probably won't watch it because it's a 3 o'clock game and there's something else I'd rather watch. And plus, remember, I'll probably be driving back from Houston so I can go to the Thunder game that night. Saints and Chargers, 7.5-point favorites. Over-under is 40. Then, of course, the Bills and Seahawks, that's going to be a very good game. I'd like to be able to see that. Seahawks +3, over-under 47 at home with the Bills. I think that the Amari Cooper and Josh Allen thing will come along even better. I still can't believe the Chiefs didn't go get him, but, they are who the Chiefs are, who they are. So, they know stuff that we don't know, so we're not going to second-guess Andy Reid or Brett Veach and what they're trying to do there with Mahomes. We're not going to try to do that. Anyway, the Bills-Seahawks +3. I will probably take the Bills in that game, but the Seahawks should want to come back and get a W. So we'll see. I don't really bet, so I'm not really the guy that can really give you advice on that. That's just me, an opinion of me just looking at it. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no skin in the game. No skin in the game. I don't have. Bears and Commanders. I was hoping to see those two go at it, Caleb Williams and Jalen Daniels, but it's not going to have Jaden Daniels. So it's not going to happen. But the Bears at the Commanders are +2.5. Marcus Mariota is a very good backup. I mean, he basically runs the same thing that Jaden Daniels does. Same type of guy. A little older, won't make as many mistakes, but does not as dynamic with his feet as Jaden, but he can still move. That's for sure. The Commanders +2.5. Over-under is 43.5. So we'll see what happens on that. Panthers and Broncos, I have no desire. None. That's my boy Jose Fierro's team, but no desire to watch that. Chiefs, Broncos -9. Over under is 43.5. Chiefs and Raiders. I do want to watch that simply because it's the Chiefs and the Raiders. And the last time they played, the Raiders did beat them on Christmas, and the Chiefs have not lost a game since. Number two, they did have the doll, the puppet, that they were making fun of with Mahomes. He said, as he said, we'll see when we see. So that's gonna be interesting. And the last time the Chiefs played in Vegas, they won the Super Bowl. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Cowboys and Niners. Excuse me, Chiefs plus 10, the Raiders are plus 10. 41.5 is the over-under, which is pretty good because I don't know if the Raiders are going to be able to score against the Chiefs that many points unless the Chiefs give them to them, which I don't see happening. Cowboys and the Niners. It depends on who all comes back for the Niners. Depends on Debo playing. We know that McCaffrey's not playing until November 10th. So who all is going to be there? Is Jennings coming back? Who are they going to have for the Niners? How beat up are they? Is Trent Williams going to be suspended or not? So there's a lot of stuff going on there with that game. But the Niners minus 4.5 point favorites. So big chance 47 is the over-under. Big chance for Brock Purdy to prove that he's going to be worth $60 million, which this stuff is just ridiculous to me. I just don't see it. Anyway, Niners minus 4.5 point favorites, 47 over-under. Giants at the Steelers minus 6.5, over-under 36.5. Game 7:15 Sunday night, Monday night. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. I mean, I'm interested to see as well. Now, in college, let's start with the Big 12, of course. I mean, since we are Big 12, here's the schedule coming up: BYU versus UCF, Oklahoma State at Baylor. Man, that'd be a good game to go down to Waco. Texas Tech at TCU. Just Oklahoma State at Baylor. Baylor's minus 7. 64.5 is the over-under. Oklahoma State, only team without a W. They should have had one against BYU for sure. They let them off the hook. I mean, how you let them score with 12 seconds left, not tackling. It's the defense. West Virginia versus Arizona, minus 3. You got to handle your business there. West Virginia and Arizona. Arizona's at home, minus 3 Arizona. Texas Tech at TCU. The Horned Frogs, minus 7 point favorites, over under 6.5. Utah at Houston. Houston plus 8 there in Houston. And I'm going to be in Houston, as a matter of fact. I may try to go to that game since they're kind of over there by them. I may try to do that. Kansas versus Kansas State, minus 10.5, over under 55.5 for Kansas State. Man, that's going to be a good game, I think. ESPN 2, 7 p.m. We'll see. I'll probably have my birthday dinner then, late birthday dinner. Cincinnati versus Colorado. Colorado minus 5.5 point favorites. ESPN 2. They need to handle their business. I tell you what, Shedeur Sanders looks like he's going to be the number one quarterback taken overall, as he should. He's doing really well, I think. In the Big 12 standings, of course, BYU. We looked at this yesterday. BYU 4-0, Iowa State 4-0, Kansas State 3-1, Cincinnati 3-1, Colorado 3-1, which makes that game even bigger. Colorado and Cincinnati. We'll see who's the real deal for that. And of course, Cowboys 0-4, 3-4. It's just, it's painful. It's painful to watch. It really is. So, I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit my guy Mark Long up. He's a great dude. They love to be behind the scenes. So if you have a complex that you're building, they can come in and make sure it's laid out properly. There won't be any flooding, and everything should be the way it should be. Also, if you have a water treatment plant for your city or your county, or if you have a dam, they can take care of you, because who wants to help get their homes, their neighborhood flooded because the dam is weak and they didn't see it coming, or who doesn't like fresh, clean water? So hit these guys up. They love to be able to take care of you and make sure all your engineering, surveying, or planning needs are taken care of. Collaborative Logic, want to appreciate them for coming in and fixing my computer. The other day I told you they can remote in, as long as it's not mechanical, they can remote in and take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. So appreciate those guys. Great group of guys. Love those guys over there. If you have needs for software or computers to have your office run smoother with your network, or if you have website design, hit those guys up. And like I said, I'm gonna post a picture for us if you want to go online and order any of the software or the T-shirts that we're gonna have available. People have been asking me about the Matt Clark shirt, so if you want to order that, you can do all that online. Oak Grove Trucking, my guy Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand, hit my guy up. He'd love to take care of you. Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm in downtown Yukon, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB Eastwood is off the Parkway and 66 to 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. Can't miss it. Right there in front of the hospital. And then YB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, Elm Grove Clothing and my guy, Jonathan Binky Triplet, took care of my suit when we went to the JFK Awards. Got another one coming up. Hey, he's a great guy. And I remember, you need to pay all this $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a suit? He has the same material as you can get anywhere else, and for half that. So hit my guy up at Grove Clothing, my guy Jonathan Binky Triplet, 405-332-8787, 405-332-8787. He's got great. You can pick out your material, pick out your suits, pick out what you want. He's got a great job. Love this guy. You can email him if you need to at info@elmgroveclothing.com or sales@elmgroveclothing.com. Jonathan Binky Triplet, hit my guy up. And then, of course, in 2 days, when I was talking about my new suit for Taste of Western, it's coming up October 24th at the Will Rogers Theater. Love that place. Was just there in their tasting room the other night for dinner. Oh, my God, it's so good. Taste of Western, here are the sponsorship forms that you can do for them. The sponsorship forms, 6,000, 3,500, 2,500 are the amounts that for sponsorship. I don't know if it's too late, but you might contact them. Here's all the info right there where you can get your tickets, and you can contact them for more information. It's all right there, so hit them up, and they'll be able to take care of you for that. So hit those guys up, and they'll take care of you. I can't wait to go because it's very good. Can't wait to. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Taste of West is a fun event, and hopefully everybody can make it to that event. Now, NBA news, man, NBA season is here. Starts tonight, and we're going to have a Thunder show, of course, our pre-Thunder show, so you can kind of get set up for the week. Remember, we play Thursday night. It's opening night against Denver. So we're going to talk a little bit more in detail. We may do that tonight, either tonight or tomorrow night. We're going to do a pre-Thunder show about that. We may do a double show. We may do one in the afternoon, a preview tomorrow, preview the NBA and the Thunder season tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour, and then tomorrow night do one just specifically talking about the Thunder and do that. So we may do that. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do that. I'm trying to talk to my guy, Nathan Taylor, and figure out exactly how we can lay all that out. But we'll get it done one way or the other. So we're excited about that. But in NBA news, what a shocker. Sixers Joel Embiid and Paul George won't be available for opening night. Shocking. They're not sure how long Embiid is going to miss, if he's going to be back for the second game or not. So we'll see. We'll see how that transpires. But isn't that funny? And you're supposed to be competing against Boston, and your guys are hurt. And the question is, are they even going to make it through the year? Are they going to be available throughout the year? What's going to happen with them? Nobody hell knows. And it's just frustrating to me because I thought Philly would be one of to me, the chasers of Boston were, to me, Philly, New York, and Milwaukee. Those are the questions. Those are the teams. Now, whether that's going to be an actual fact or not, I don't know. And, of course, Kawhi Leonard won't be available for an indefinite period of time. Now, why is that important? I said helping the Thunder, of course. Now, why do I say that? Because it helps the Thunder for several reasons. One, remember, we have their pick. So the longer Kawhi is gone, remember, Paul George is gone, Russell's gone. All they do have a nice young group. I'm not going to say that they don't, because they do. Okay, they do have a nice group. But what this does is this allows the Thunder to have control over their pick. So remember, if they're in the top 8 or top 12, the Thunder will be drawing. And we've talked about this. This is a chance for the Thunder to get another piece, another top number 1 overall pick, number 2 pick, number 5 pick, whatever. It allows them that opportunity to get a top pick. Now, the last top pick was Chet, of course, and then you look at who we've gotten in the top 5 or whatever we took. We've gotten Kevin Durant, you got James Harden, you got Russell Westbrook, you got and you got Chet. So Sam Presti's done really well in his picks of who we want to take. Now, remember, I was mad that he took James Harden over Steph Curry. That was just me. But, I don't know how well Russell and him would have went together. I don't think that probably would have worked. KD and Steph clearly worked, but I don't know if Russell would have worked in that dynamic with that group. I don't know if that would have happened. So, but anyway, that being said, that gives you a chance to get a Cooper Flag or somebody like that. Especially like I like Cooper, and I've talked about him. I mean, he's young, and I think with our coach being a developmental coach, he's going to help him develop faster. Now, my question with our coach being a developmental coach, after they develop, what the hell do you do with them then? How do you coach the players who have already been developed? And I see right now, like I said, this year I've given you my deals, and I'll go into more on after the storm when we do our show about what I think we can win and what we can't. We added Hardenstein, which, what does that do? That's going to move you significantly from 29th as far as offensive rebounds, giving up and getting. You added Caruso, which is a smarter defender. You still have the Dort Chamber and Lou Dort as far as defense and things like that. So you've got Lou Dort. But you got Caruso, who's not going to commit the fouls that Dort does. He's not going to try to score and do stuff because Dort thinks he's a scorer now because of our coach. So instead of him being pigeonholed as a defender that can hit threes whenever he's open and you shoot 4 or 5 a game, like I said, I don't even want him shooting 5, 6 times a game. I don't want him trying to go to the hole. I don't want him trying to create nothing. I want you catching and shooting 5 or 6 times a game. That's all I want you doing, D'ing up and not fouling at the end of the games. All I want from Dort. Okay? So you added Caruso, who's a smarter player. And what does Caruso have that you need? He has a ring. Now, what does having a ring mean? He can tell them, guys, this is what it takes. This is what you need to do because we're right there on the crust. We're right there. So he can come in and say, this is what it takes. This is what you need to do. This is the difference between winning and losing. These are the things you have to work on. This is what needs to happen. You've got an experienced person in the locker room to teach them that knows how to win and who has won and who has a chip. So that helps them there. So everybody's favored them to go back to be the number 1 seed again, but I just don't trust the coach. I just don't. I know a lot of y'all like him, and I like him as a developmental guy, but, I mean, to me, they want J-Dub, and you can just see it. When you watch him, J-Dub was bringing the ball up the court the whole time. I'm like, you guys, I don't know what the hell you're looking at. I just don't. Now, you're saving SGA, fine, but you always make the runs, and this is undeniable. Okay? When J-Dub is on the bench, which is when SGA is in the game, without him, you make your run. If SGA is not in the game, they don't make runs. It's that simple. You can win without J-Dub. You cannot win without SGA. That's a fact. You look at last year, the winning record without J-Dub and what they did without him and what they did with him. Without SGA, what happened, what they did. You can look at the record. It's obvious what happened. But the Thunder, or the coach doesn't know how to coach somebody like him. And then when your GM says, exactly, how did he put this? SGA needs to be more of a two-way player. You're top 5 scoring and you're number 1 in the league and steals. What is your definition of a two-way player? That's what I would have asked him. Had I been there, I would have said, excuse me, Mr. Presti, what is your definition of a two-way player? If he did this, then what is your definition of a two-way player? Please explain it to me because I want to know what the hell your definition of one is. If that ain't it, somebody who can score 30 and average 2 steals a game, if that's not a two-way player, then what the hell is? Just tell me. So we'll see what's going to happen with that, but I am excited about the Thunder. We're going to go more into detail about that tomorrow, either tonight on After the Storm. The game's it's tonight. That should be tonight, not tomorrow. The games tonight are the Knicks versus the Celtics, 6:30 on TNT. -5.5. The Celtics -5.5 point favorites. 223 is over under. Of course, the T Wolves then come on after that with the Lakers because everybody wants to see if Bronny is going to play or not. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But we'll see. Knicks and Celtics. I'm looking forward to that, to seeing what's going to happen between the Knicks and the Celtics. Of course, the Celtics will unveil their 19th banner, which is one ahead of one ahead of the Lakers now. There's going to be distractions, so I can see why the Knicks. If my gut tells me that the Knicks will probably upset them simply because take the Knicks in the points because it's the unveiling of the championship banner. Now they have the most in the history of the NBA, and then my mind tells me, hey, the Celtics are going to handle the Knicks because they're trying to make a point. So we'll see. Then on the other side of that, you got the T Wolves and the Lakers. T Wolves should smash the Lakers, but everybody wants to see LeBron and his son play. That's what they want to see, LeBron and his son play. So we'll see how that's going to work. Me, on the other hand, I don't really care. And it's so funny, guys. We have 5 watchers on YouTube. And then as soon as I switched from the Thunder, we went down to 2-1, and now we're back up to 2. Isn't that funny? But anyway, everybody wants to see Bronny and LeBron. I won't watch this game at all tonight. I could care less. I don't. Everybody knows I got in trouble. Everybody knows I'm a Laker fan. Lakers won, Thunder 1A. But right now, it's Thunder 1, Lakers 1A. Because of the simple fact of till that guy's gone from the Lakers, who I believe, he won us a chip. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Even though it's tainted, but I'm still going to take it to give us 18. I'm not a Laker fan until he's done. This will be the first time that the Lakers and the Thunder play that I will not be wearing Laker colors instead of Thunder colors. First time. When they play each other, I will be wearing my Laker gear, my Thunder gear, at that time, and Randy Wright, the commander, is going to go crazy because that's never happened. The Thunder fans that see us upstairs in the club level, they're going to be like, "What are you doing?" But I will not be wearing Laker stuff. My girl Jennifer Falkenstein, she's going to be laughing too, because of the simple fact that I will not be wearing Laker stuff. First time. So. But when he's gone, I'll put my Lakers stuff on again. But while he's there, I'm pretty much done. So, but anyway, that being said, the Thunder play Thursday night, and so let's get on to something good. The Thunder play Thursday night, which I'm ready. I know you guys are too. I am ready for the Thunder versus the Nuggets Thursday night. The Nuggets are -2.5 point favorites. It was 2 points. It's jumped up to -2.5 now, which I think is interesting. -2.5 point favorites. I'm still taking the Thunder. Well, actually, I'm going to take the Thunder in the points, but I do believe the Nuggets are going to beat us because of the simple fact that with Hartenstein, I think that we're a different team, and we can match up well with Gordon and Jokic better with he's playing, and then when you add in Caruso and Dort, I think it's better. And then, like I said, to me, I don't want Dort playing with SGA. Dort needs to play with J-Dub. You need to play Caruso with SGA. That's how I look at it. But if you're trying to win, if you're not trying to win, then yeah, you don't want to do that. So the question is this coach going to try to win? Is the question. How is he going to play this? That's going to be the $1 million question for the Thunder, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. I really, really am excited to see what's going to happen. So, Thunder and the Nuggets tonight, I'm excited about what's going to happen with that. Thursday night, I am taking the Thunder. I do believe the game will be close, but the Nuggets want us really bad, simply because what happened last year, and I think that's going to make all the difference in the world, and we're going to see what's going to happen, because when you look at our first 10 games, like I said yesterday, and we'll talk more about this on After the Storm. When you look at the Thunder schedule, we play the Nuggets twice in our first 10 games. And, of course, Hartenstein won't play in either one of those games, which makes it, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? I think that's more of an advantage for us because we've already played and we know what it looks like. But it's a disadvantage to them because, remember, the game he got hurt was against the Nuggets. So they know kind of what he does, but Jokic wasn't playing with him, and Gordon wasn't playing in that period. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But here's the Thunder schedule for the first 10 games. We play the Nuggets twice, and by him not playing either one of those games, I think that's going to make a huge difference. I just do. I think it's going to allow us to have an advantage over the Nuggets because they won't really see us until we play the 2 games here and then possibly in the playoffs before you'll be able to really see what it's going to be like when we go at each other and what's going to happen with that. So it's going to make a huge difference in how that's played out. So I'm going to see, like I said, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that and what's going to happen with that. I'm really pumped up. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. But anyway, like I said, I think it's an advantage to us Thursday that Hartenstein is not playing and he's not going to play November 6th either. I think that's an advantage to us and what's going to happen. But like I said, Thursday night we have the Nuggets. Then, of course, Saturday we have the Bulls at the Bulls. I don't know if we'll do a show after that simply because I don't know what. I mean, when you look at that, we should beat up on the Bulls really badly. And, I don't really do shows when we blow them out. Plus, I just don't, there's not a lot to talk to. But it'll be good. I'm sure that's our biggest thing, by the way. And we have more and more people who, on the After the Storm, who want to come in and comment. And then, of course, Sunday afternoon, we'll be playing the Hawks, and I will be excited about that. So, but anyway, like I said, it's a good thing for us to play the Nuggets the 24th, but to play them without Hartenstein, I think that's going to be a huge advantage for the Thunder later on in the season, and especially in the playoffs. They won't have enough tape on us playing against them to know what the matchups are in those first few games. So I think it's going to be a huge advantage to us for the Thunder to play without him being there. So I'm excited about what's going to happen with that. I really, truly am, because I think it's going to make a huge difference for what we're trying to do with the OKC Thunder. For those 2 games. But anyway, so remember, we have we have the Nuggets, and then, of course, we have my guy, Jose, texted me right now, and I'm just like, dude, why are you texting me? I'm doing the show, just brought up your name as a sponsor, and you're trying to text me to call me while we're trying to do the show. What are you doing, Jose? Anyway, like I said, the Nuggets on Thursday, the Bulls on Saturday, and then the Hawks on Sunday. So that's going to be very cool. And then, of course, on the 30th, we have the Spurs, which is going to be a huge, huge game for the Spurs on that Thursday to see what's going to happen with that. So anyway, I'm pumped up. I'm excited about Thursday to come. If Hartenstein was playing, I'd be a lot more excited. But I think I don't know if it's the game is more important to us to beat them or them to beat us. Because remember, we won 3 games out of 4 last year. Now, I believe I counted 2 out of 3. I don't count the last game. The first game, remember, they was like I don't know why we played them early in the season, but they beat us pretty badly. In the first game of the year, I think it was game 5 or 6 or something, 4 or 5 or 6, something around there. Then we came back and we beat them in Denver. And then we came back and SGA hit the last second shot to beat them the second time every other night. Remember, they were playing every other night. They switched that off for some reason. I don't understand why. I mean, I liked it better when you play and then you skip a night and play again. I liked it better. We're already there. Why are you going to send us off somewhere else? We'll just go ahead and get our games over with. Every other night it's boom, boom. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know if the NBA really didn't like that in certain teams being able to do that, like us against Minnesota. We play them, and then 2 days later or 3 days later or whatever, a week later, we come back and play them again. It's like, why aren't we playing them every other night? We play them on a Monday and play them on Wednesday. We get the trip over, stay there for 3 days, 2 days. What's the deal? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm sure there's a reason why the NBA did not like it or people didn't like it. There's a reason why they're not doing that any longer. So, now that being said, I know what I am excited about as well. I know a lot of you all are excited about it. Maybe y'all aren't. I mean, I am. Major League Baseball, Yankees, and the Dodgers, my 2 teams. Dodgers right now 1.5 run favorites. Over under is 8 runs in this particular game. And Chavez Ravine, which is the home of the Dodgers. And like I said, I'm torn because these are both my teams. And like I said, I was a Dodger fan simply because my dad was with Jackie Robinson. That's the reason why I was an original Dodger fan. And then, of course, I became a Yankee fan because I was just going against my dad. He hated the Yankees. So I took it. So I became a Yankee fan. And then, of course, with Reggie Jackson, was a huge fan of him, Dave Winfield, and then, of course, Derek Jeter. Huge fans of all three of those guys. So I became Yankee fans over that. But I ended up changing up. And so anyway, I'm excited about how that's going to work. So anyway, I'm excited to see that game. And like I said, I'm probably leaning towards, like I said, if you put a gun to my head, I probably would think the Dodgers going to win. And because the Yankees have got so many championships. So if I put a gun to my head, I probably would say the Dodgers are going to win, but my heart says Yankees. Does that make sense? So we'll see how that's going to work out. But anyway, I'm excited about that on Friday night, watching that thing. And then on top of that, the Thunder game is Saturday night, so we'll see how that's going to work out. But game one is going to be a good week this week, and I'm excited about watching sports. It's going to be a great game, great weekend for football. We showed you what games are going to be coming on in football, or did we do that? I think we did. So I'm excited about football, and we'll go more into all that stuff tomorrow. So that being said, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I said, go hit some golf balls for me, please. I can't go. So one of y'all somebody go hit some balls for me and tell me about it. Send me some pictures of y'all on the course, because now I got to leave and go train some kids and get these kids some confidence and teach them how they need to do. So that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the Unpopular.